is YouTube working? I am amazing. I I reached that thing in time. I had like half a second to actually make it work. But I did. Did in time. Okay. Anyway, what's up? Great day. Good evening. Today we are here to continue. There we go. Let me actually win something before I actually fucking fail to do that. That's gonna be so funny to see me not win even one singular run. Uh, but anyway, I need uh, taking a nap is my favorite activity. Papa. So, we have 6 minutes and a half. Okay, it's all good. It should work, no? Like, internet could be lying, yeah, but it isn't. So, I need to. Anyway, experience life. It's fine. Part of it is encountering that you have slept. I don't know. Something about trying to insert it. I wouldn't say a delicacy, like it isn't really a delicacy, it's just the reality of I was trying to get enough rest. Something there is always this reticence against yeah, you will actually allow yourself to get the handful of hours that can benefit you in some way. Not because you really need to avoid them, but simply because you prefer to avoid them. And at that point, yeah, it's very dangerous for you in terms of should be capable of resting. But you don't allow that to happen, and that's when you hurt yourself, I guess. Even though it shouldn't happen. Uh, but it's part of the experience, I guess. It's impossible to not live and have something like that happen, basically. So, who are we to complain? Anyway, uh, we. I have so many things to do. It's not really that many, it's just. I fear forgetting, simply put, yeah. There is a handful of things and realities. It's difficult enough to actually keep track of all of them in some way. But it's fine, anyways. It's absolutely fine. Also, have something like what is it? Uh, what was I gonna say? I'm amazing. I forgot. Don't worry about it. It wasn't important. I tell myself I forget again. But well, it's part of the experience. Let me actually try to finish setting up, I guess. But yeah, that part of the fun is going to actually win something. So yeah, yeah. This time, I don't think I'm going to lock in. Like, there are moments in which, when playing something of this sort, you are sort of like unavoidably forced to do that, but it isn't really a necessity all the time in itself. Like, oh no, you're not absolutely locked in. You're going to not enjoy playing. There we go. That. Now, I have enough time. I wanna test something actually. I have an idea. Uh, what am I looking for? Ah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Isn't there like a. Am I making it up? Isn't there something like a dude hat? That thing doesn't exist? You're talking with me. No way. What? Am I inventing something? What do you mean that thing doesn't exist? Uh, Dental health months indeed. Exactly what I was looking for. Uh, I don't want to cut up a PNC. Give me how? What do you mean there is no touch at PNC? My wit is over. It's modernity. So many great inventions, yet the thing that you're looking for somehow still is not real. So much of everything else, but what you need. There we go. Found one. I guess. Uh, Let me. It's not exactly what I want. Like, I will have to still cut up this PNC. It's over. No, wait. I have one. I also have to cut it. Why is comedy so complicated? I I didn't think about. No, not that I didn't think about this. I didn't think it was gonna be this hard. Who imagines that what you are looking for is gonna take you on an entire trip simply because implementing that realistically is so difficult, actually. Amazing. Yes, give me a second, then I will have to cut up a PNC. Can I even share this thing? Or do I literally have to do it all by myself? How do I do this? Open, copy. Uh, how much time do we have? We have we have like a minute. So yeah, in a minute I will be done. I am. Have you ever been with somebody who was preparing their custom? Who you know? Oh wow, you are doing that so unavoidably. You have to wait a little bit before I can actually show you what I want. This thing. Modify. Quick mask. What the fuck am I looking for? What? Select. File. Huh. What? think I have an idea what the issue is. This thing. And this thing. I delete that thing. Can I delete that? Like, yeah? What the fuck? Is it deleting? What am I doing? Oh my god. Okay, it's gone, supposedly. So, now, selection. I choose that. Yeah, okay. Now, I can lean over here. Okay. Save as. What do I need to implement this? Give me a second. What do I need to implement this? PNC, okay. Props are PNCs. Export as PNC. There we go. Save. The issue is where I don't really remember what I save stuff. I am amazing. I know that somewhere I tend to save things. The issue is actually knowing where I did that. Prop. Props. Plural. Yeah. Save. It's half a mega of fucking image. Amazing. But I have it. So now I can do this. This. And I should be capable of doing this. Now. Fuck, it isn't white. No, it actually is white. It isn't transparent. That's the issue. Fuck. It's the best. How did I do that? Like, what happened there? I guess I shouldn't save it as PNC. I shouldn't save it as JPEG. No, something tells me that JPEGs don't save transparent stuff, right? Something reminds me of that notion, you know, about how JPEGs need to actually be JPEGs for a reason. Remove this, and now, can you open this? No, it still don't work. Why does it not work? What is the problem? Why is this thing not empty? Why does it still have a background? Okay, let me I think I can show you the behind the scenes, quote unquote. Right now we're in this situation. Next goal is for me to make the borders disappear on that image. So yeah, give me a second. There is something about how do we make images transparent? Make image transparent online. Indeed, please give me remove background. Remove dot bg. Indeed. Yes. Give me this. It does this thing automatically with AI. Amazing. Who could have predicted that? That these companies will be using AI. At least for that, it's operational in terms of review. Now, supposedly, I have it. Supposedly. So, let me prop. Let me change the file yet again. This one. There we go. Amazing. Okay. We have it. We have it. We have it. We have it. I have it. I am proud to announce. Let me zoom in. Actually, let me zoom in. Something like that should work, right? Okay. There we go. Shh. You didn't see it. You didn't see it. You didn't see it. Now. Okay. There we are. Good evening. That was everything that I wanted. That was I had a sudden realization. It doesn't really cost that much to actually set up something of that sort. It's like quite easy actually. So yeah. We are gonna be using our hat, our pit hat for today. Why, you might ask yourself, because indeed we are returning to that game which made me lose my mind last time here. Please ignore the playtime. And also let me before I turn sound music. I think last time we did like 14 or something like that. Yeah, so should be fine. Great enough. Accessibility options. This is like visual. Yo, Cavity Masters was designed around these default settings. What? Game speed, player added damage, max slow time, player added HP, player added woo power, visibility options, force unlock options, understand all. None of those things are necessary then. So yeah. We are ready to continue today. Not continue, rather try to win. That's the only goal of the day, of the evening. Here, quick explanation is you play as a dude who has to kill other stuff, bacteria and microbes and whatever. Doesn't really matter. What matters is that we are doing it basically. Playing on hard because it's necessary to play on hard, and there is a dig mode. I don't trust the dig mode that much now, but probably it's gonna be good to play on it. It's so difficult to do it. So difficult to actually say, yeah, let's play on dig mode. No, really, it's not that I don't want to. It's harder than what you actually can expect sometimes. Also, this is hyperphagia. Hunger for more. Shoot fires back to player upon killing an enemy. But it is whatever. We're still capable of winning this, basically. That's the biggest point. Okay. I actually did not choose the thing that lets you open up the whole map around you, so that's gonna come as a consequence. It's understandable. I believe that it's possible to win despite that thing lacking in the end. Like, it's cool to be amazing to actually have the only benefit, which makes one of the main mechanics a lot more present. But something about, let me say it like this, something about the whole aspect of indeed, it's not all that necessary, it's not an obligation. Actually, it's more of a, yeah, we can do it. But if it doesn't come into play in any way, it's fine. Also, I still don't understand what this ROM is. Only God knows. But well, I was saying that, yeah, I don't know. I think we can. I hope to some degree we can win. I really have no idea. Reestablish my French fry ads because I kind of suck at maintaining my view streaks? No problem. Rearm? French fry? Can happen. It's part of the fun. Sometimes I guess the reality is sadly that also there have been some streams that were cut much shorter simply because of issues and nothing to really do about that. Like it's no yeah, it also always happens the same with me. Whenever I see somebody who I like watching and they also have issues on their streams, unavoidably I end up missing my streak. The whole adventure of you didn't really get to stream, so I didn't really get to have time to watch, and I don't know, something about Twitch tells you, yeah, you can later on regain your streak, so it's so tempting to quote unquote later on gain it back. It doesn't really mean that you will do it, but you tell yourself that you are, my case, and it ends up happening that I forget about that entirely. But it's fine, anyways, welcome to I hope you're well. Don't worry about it. It's part of the experience, I guess. Something like that. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So, now, most important part, I have the main pathway done. With the mini boss done, I can progress to the next area, to the boss directly. I am not going to do that. I feel like it's incredibly meaningless to do that actually, to some degree. It's better to explore. The only issue also is I need to not take as much damage. I need to actually focus, I guess. Or it's not even about focusing, it's about getting accustomed to the controls and whatnot. My excuse today is, yeah, I was sleeping until like 20 minutes ago, so I was out of it for a second. Perhaps. But yeah. I feel like I am forgetting something. Now that I think about it, I spent so much time trying to make the whole bad PNC thing happen that I might have actually forgotten about something else. Well, it doesn't matter, right? For sure it doesn't matter. Just like every single time that a sensation of that sort exists, there is nothing to actually worry about, I guess. Supposedly. What is this? La sister. Enemies can't be what the? No. And it's impossible to cure. You are soaking with me. No way. Well, 5 seconds aren't really that much, taking into consideration stuff. Like, it says 5 seconds of not being capable of damaging enemies, and that room already had that, and it didn't really feel like that long. I can endure that. I tell myself as I probably killed the run just on that upgrade alone. Can happen. I will be happy if we win at the very least one. That's my current goal actually. I don't need to win every single round today, I need to win one. I have been playing it on my own too. And it's funny to see how impossible it is to win in general. In hard mode. It's such a difficulty spike compared to normal. What's a game of that sort that has such a difference in the experience that's offered? Because I guess part of yeah, indeed you are getting the experience of what is it? Getting to enjoy all the difficulties and all the challenges by playing the game on hard. That's, I feel like, to some degree, obviously enough, part of something like Isaac, which is true to some extent. But unavoidably, it's not the only game. There are other games that have to be like that for sure. And the issue is that the difficulty spike between normal and hard is such that it doesn't feel like at all the same experience to some extent. But all of that is me complaining. We can win. I trust the process. At some point we're going to win. It's going to make it easy, and we shall rejoice in having won, no matter how much time it took, or something like that, yeah. And even if it doesn't happen, at least we have tried a second time under different conditions in a different moment of history. Something about not doing things just once for the sake of doing them, but rather making sure that you do them in different occasions in order to actually find out if the results that you get are completely aligned with what should happen, or if instead you are getting that outlier kind of result, which has nothing to do with what you should actually be obtaining from your efforts and whatnot. So yeah, point is, I believe, I believe that's. I swear to God, that's my only worry right now. I just want to win. I want to go out today and say, yeah, we won a run. It's, I wouldn't say bad, but yeah, no, we really started to know that didn't happen last time. This time for sure. But yeah, anyways, besides that, I don't know, something incredibly funny. I finally have returned to more normality. I can say proudly, as a person who now has come back to returning into the lane of the functional human beings. I encounter myself yet again in the land of those who have to do normal activities throughout the day. Because indeed, yeah, the implied thing here is that before that didn't happen, but now it is, so now it is funny to see it happen to some degree. Somewhat it's also, I don't know, I wouldn't say irritating, but sad. It's quite hard to function properly right now out there. It's something that I keep being amazed at is the whole notion of, you know what, you have these things to pay attention to, no matter what you do. And this is going to be the case, once again, no matter what you do. So that means that in the end, you're going to be forced to do stuff of different sorts, because, and that's the problem, nobody is really willing to say, yeah, perhaps we should take a break. Perhaps we should try to lower what we are doing. Not, it's what we are trying to accomplish is meaningful to some degree, but in itself, what we are trying to accomplish can also be done later. Like, it isn't the most important thing in the world to justify not resting at all. We don't need to destroy ourselves for the sake of accomplishing what's the thing that we're actually working on in a huge variety of ways. And nobody wants to say that. So a lot of the world keeps functioning as if it was totally fine for that to happen, in terms of, yeah, you know what, you don't at all to worry about the fact that indeed you are tiring yourself out so much, and you're to some degree unavoidably burning out for the sake of keeping up in terms of pace with everyone else. But everyone else around you is also tired, but everyone else is in the same position as you, unwilling to say anything, so we end up all absolutely unrested from this experience, almost forced to try to act like it is fine when it isn't, and that is, I don't know, crazy. I feel like surprising, yeah, surprising, because it shouldn't really happen. It shouldn't be the case that, yeah, you know what, I made sure to do so much of what I didn't do at all, or I made sure that what I did, even if I do like the thing that I do, was filled to the brim with those other parts that are also quite difficult to in itself actually like, because I just wanted to, I just had to function like everyone else. I had to make it look like I can also push myself past my limits or whatever. And I don't know, it's crazy that that happens, but it's fun. It's in the overarching grand scheme of things, as always. is to some degree fine. It's not like a really, oh no, I had to go out there today, therefore, because of that, I am now dying. Not really. But, I don't know, it's strange to see how willing we are to have stuff of that sort exist sometimes. That's my sensation. Yeah. It's like, do we really need to have that happen? No. But, nobody here once again is willing to say that that shouldn't be the case. So, we all play along and keep basically pushing, basically making sure that everyone else is also doing the same as us. And so, thank you for the look. I hope you have a very good night or rest of your day. I died already, I am amazing. The cavities form deeper, darker fissures. That means the enemy being shown right now has gotten even harder. Amazing! That was literally the first room. I died in the first, not room, first floor. Thank God it wasn't literally the first room, it was only the first floor, but yeah, can happen, I guess. But it's part of the experience, I have to assume. At some point, you lose enough to justify not losing anymore later on, but not yet. Also, there are only like 4 extra rooms to read towards. I feel like the cheat code is to some extent to play with the reconstructing sorcery. Our movements happen more often. Special rooms have a higher chance of spawning. Great. Excellent. Unless it's getting hard, sets combo to 0, but combo doubles in growth. Great. I was saying, yeah. But I don't know. I feel like there is always an issue with these kind of games. The base character is always the most broken one. Not unavoidably, not because it has something special to it. We all know that, I don't know, some character like Isaac is such a blank character in itself. But that quality is also what makes it special. The whole tabula rasa characteristic of it is what lets it be so unique in a way. And to the extent to which it actually makes it beautiful to do, and so using that character first and foremost, because otherwise it's far more challenging in terms of all these other things that have to happen and all these other things that have to go on and all these other things that we have to make sure we get to do and whatnot. And I don't know, it's strange, I guess that's my point. Also here, an upgrade, 2 upgrades, and I don't know any of them, so I guess this laser valley does what it says on the tin. Who knows what it says there? I guess, unavoidably, what the fuck? Yeah, it shoots a laser, a green laser sometimes. It doesn't even last that long. I think that lasers have a special quality to them, something along the lines of a laser doesn't do simple damage, it does like damage every second that it exists, so that explains to some extent why it actually isn't allowing the laser to exist for a long time, because otherwise this quote-unquote valley would be doing more damage than me, probably. So, I like still not understanding what this means. At some point, we're going to input a code there, and we're all going to get surprised, because I did have something to actually put there instead of just talking out the meta characteristics of the room itself. For now, that remains an unanswered question, I guess. Okay. We finished the normal map once again. Now begins the fun part of digging everywhere else. Which is a lot harder, I guess. Yeah. But, thankfully enough, I don't know, something about this game gives you so many ways to deal with the situations. I am absolutely sure it's possible to solve the plethora of problems entirely safely. The issue is to some extent being capable of doing so, honestly, in terms of I understand how or why I can deal with these things. I just know that I have a situation, I just know that I have a problem. I don't really care about what problem it is. And because I act in that way, I end up, to some extent, unavoidably then, uh, harming the solution of the problem, so to speak. And in this case, it is mostly about, it could have been solved otherwise, but because I just do not really, to act like not paying attention was better, I end up not getting a real solution to my real problem. Even if, once again, it is a problem that does exist in itself. Why? I guess an important part of the discourse still is why so much emphasis on, this thing is actually a problem. Because sometimes, unavoidably, some things that you see and categorize as, this is such a trouble, isn't really a problem. But the emphasis with which we say that things are problematic makes it look like it truly is bad, when in reality there is no actual bad situation going on. Just an overemphasis on the negative aspects of something difficult to properly navigate, so to speak. But that's how we tend to act. So, not that surprising, really, I guess. Just, I wouldn't say alarming, just surprising to see that it is so much the case, to some degree. Also, first boss without any hit, that is actually huge. No, right? This one has two faces. Like almost every single boss. What is a challenge if it doesn't have 5 different layers to it, you know? What is a challenge if it doesn't make you sweat because of its difficulty? What is a challenge if it doesn't make you ask yourself if what you are doing is truly at all possible to navigate against and whatnot? Toothbrush, damage up, speed up, dash up, and I got a heart piece and a tooth. And I am not going to sacrifice myself for the sake of anything. I need that heart piece totally, so I'm not going to sacrifice it. Also, here we have another one, so it's good anyways. Okay, so why are there so many rooms? What the fuck? So many secret rooms, rather. Is X-Ray really that good? Absolutely amazing. I wasn't aware of your game, Mr. X-Ray glasses. These are fantastics. Fantastic. Fantastics. Fantastic, actually. What is this? A ball of teeth bursts into little teeth, low range. But does it shoot fast enough? It seems to be the case. Okay. Okay. Okay, we can solve this, I feel like. It's about trusting the process, I guess. And even if it seems not that feasible, still doing it. Or still trying to do it. Yeah. Because in the end, there is nothing better than trust in whatever it is that you do. Otherwise, why do something if you're not going to trust in the final result, you know? To act in this world without believing in the first initial action is to not do anything honestly at all, and to be willing to accept that imperfection is to finally content with the most fundamental aspect of reality, that is, that things don't get to be perfect in themselves. What makes things become perfect is the act of creating them, and then allowing all those things to actually evolve into a proper state of perfection. Something like that, yeah. So, in this case, it's a lot about trying to make it work. Trying wholeheartedly to make it work. Yes. Okay, there we go. Enemies are dying much more faster than what I was anticipating. The issue is, because it is an issue, I have no clue why. So I cannot really say, yeah, they are dying this fast because of this or that, but the point is that they are, so I guess that the match is good, supposedly. Sometimes, no, yeah, in reality it's not really that good. The whole aspect of sometimes things should just stop. What? Enemies have skin tags. Enemies have a chance to explode. What is a skin tag to equal? Whatever. I was saying that, yeah, sometimes it's actually quite horrible to not find a proper solution for things, just see that they somehow got solved. The whole aspect of you end up getting a road of the experience of actually solving the situation, which is not exactly haunting you, but unavoidably affecting you to the degree to which you actually notice the one in which you have to try and solve it otherwise. So yeah, I can remove something. I can remove Slimite is amazing. I can remove the X-ray glasses probably. That's a great removal. Yeah, I should do it. Yeah. The issue is that they take away the combo entirely, and that is well. There we go. And with that, we also have almost enough. Almost, not exactly all, but almost enough hard pieces, so that's great. What the? Oh, multiple spawning enemies, my favorite part about this game. When enemies spawn 5 times per room simply because. Wow! Amazing room! Okay, probably this is like the lottery in a way. This is actually so great. Wow. This is a god room. Amazing. Good. Great things come to those who try hard enough. After so many difficulties, you finally harvest the result of your efforts in such bountiful harvests. Only after having gone so far and having seen so much. But until then, there is only that everlasting sensation of nothing leads to what I truly want. That is liberation from the problems. Something like that. Okay. Yeah, I used the thing that makes hits when hitting walls shoot lasers. Because it is absolutely dangerous actually. I like how the game treats so many things as not at all problematic, but I wouldn't say that. I absolutely think that, yeah, some debuffs are totally bad, actually. Totally harmful. Okay. Okay. This, so far, I have to be honest, it seems to actually be on track to being a good run. It seems to be. It doesn't really mean that it entirely is. But we have to trust the process, I guess. Okay. Anything here to buy? I love not knowing. This, I think that's this thing is good, like the swarm bodies. It's a great option, and this, what is? Food. Teeth? Question mark. Indeed. So much. With. Oh my god. I am actually doing so well in terms of damage for some reason. Crazy. I wasn't expecting that. perhaps this is it, actually. You know what? The stream is over because we get to win no matter what, somehow. Amazing. I wasn't really expecting that. I was having in mind that we were going to struggle so much until it finally worked out, but not that it was going to instantaneously almost work out. It's expectations. Hi, you got the good stuff, you know, Dojo skills, my challenge, dodge all the bullets, no jumping and no dodge rolling already? Yes. I have incredibly high move speed, so I should be capable of doing it, supposedly. The only issue is, it has like 5 or 6 different attack patterns, so depending on what it does, probably I don't really survive. Probably. Okay, not this time around. This time around it was actually... I don't know, something odd. So many great things happening without me ever expecting them. Amazing. What did you have? City speedies. While seats shoot speed when destroyed. Indeed. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah, no. I don't want to don't actually give me this room just in case. Better to try clearing everything while it is still achievable than later on when I am at risk of dying every single time I try to do that. Now the problem is, I guess I should just keep pushing. Even if I don't have absolute confidence in the odds of surviving, it's better still to try now while the stakes are low. There is almost no real risk in anything that happens. What the fuck? I got to hit the boss? How? How do I get to hit the boss for free? Amazing. So balanced. So absolutely balanced, I guess. What an experience. Okay. It got completely decimated thanks to the broken powers of this character. Okay. For some reason things are so much easier today. Great. So, this... Yeah, we can do one more room. It's not going to kill me, I hope. Okay, great enough. I actually wasn't really expecting to have such great, like, Feet of Serum. Speaking about upgrades, decreases your health. The power to claim compels you +5 goop for entering new rooms. Enemies burst, seeking bullet on that. I guess. Bloodlust, probably. And the issue is also I got incredibly sick because of that play. That room is terrible. But better to clean it than to not try to clean it at all, I guess. Can happen. Also, let me actually highlight it. I came here today and I don't even know how much time I have been here so far, but yeah, no, nothing has been drinking, so yeah, you may... What do you mean half HP? I literally have only 1 heart, man. Do you think that's fair? I am literally on death's door. Whatever you want to say, man. I think it is unfair actually, but... Okay. Yeah. Sometimes things have to be unfair for you to actually enjoy what happens. Otherwise, what's the fun if everything is fair and square and if everything goes according to the constitution or to the way in which it should all happen? Life sometimes requires that extra flavor of hardship. or so I tell myself to not lose it, because it didn't go as planned for some random reason. Okay, anyways, there we go. It's just a matter of trying hard enough, and then it finally. But yeah, I think actually this run is. I don't know. I have to keep telling myself that. Sorry, it doesn't really need to be that much said. If we win, we win. If we don't win, we will have it the next time, and after eating it the next time, we can celebrate with I don't know, with a session of Path of Exile or something like that. What's the next room? Enemies gain extra HP. Amazing. Also, I had that buff that made enemies so weak, and even then, I am winning faster with this current alignment of things rather than with all of that. Enemies are faster, bullets are faster, but the buff is enemies have less HP. Things hyperthyroidism, my favorite sickness. Need monies, indeed. Need monies. So much of life is about needing monies. How did you know that I needed monies? Okay. There we go. Here. I feel like there is an upgrade that allows you to get, like, for some reason that isn't implemented in the base game. Like, it doesn't exist at the very least at a reduced rate, but something that lets you deal with the mechanic of opening things a little bit more fairly. It happens at random unavoidably, then that, or therefore that means that you don't exactly always get that, but at the very least it happens. Here, you need to find that item for the chance to find stuff to actually cure, to actually exist at all. So that's not fair. So yeah, anyway, we can win. I have to. I repeat that. I will have to keep telling that myself. Sorry. Otherwise, we will lose, and I will lose my mind too, because we lost. What are they, man? Here. There we go. Okay, so far, it actually seems to be an amazing run. Not even a great run, an amazing run indeed. But I know something about so many things going so well, it turns every single alarm sign in my mind on why are things going so well, where are the problems? Why did the game, out of nowhere, decide to be merciful with me and not torture me with an impossible to solve run, with an utterly harmful encounter against the strangest enemy combinations possible like before? What happened? There we go, you see that? That's what I'm talking about, that kind of enemy, that kind of encounter that you say, wow, I actually survived that, amazing. What's up? Press E to talk, welcome, shut up, I know what you do. Let me heal myself, yeah. Press E to video feelings. Filings? How do you even say that? Filings, no? Feelings unavoidably is sensations. So, I think that... Anyway, it doesn't matter. What the... I love my rooms getting filled with random enemies out of nowhere. I actually like that mechanic. I think it is fantastic. I think this game does so many strange, weird, but still amazing things. Why is it so unique to the degree to which no other game decided to imitate its, I wouldn't say grandiosity, but coolness? So over. It would have been so much better to see other games say, ah yeah, you know what? Let us also do what you do. and I'll enjoy the benefits of what you do yourself. No, it doesn't happen. Nobody tries what this game does. And therefore, the quality of the overall games created out there is, I wouldn't say exactly ultimately lowered, but not the highest thanks to that decision. That's for sure, yeah. It could be greater, yeah, let's say like that. It could be more, as always, but part of life is living with the regrets of the things that happened, but not in the way in which you wanted them to happen. So, it's all good. It's all good. Oh my god, there was a sickness? Really? There had to be a sickness there? I didn't even get to see what sickness it was. I guess it doesn't matter. For sure it doesn't matter. Also wait. I was gonna say we're done. We're not done yet. It's not over until I win, Sailor. Now everything has been dug out. Easy. Okay, yeah, this is actually it, so I should be capable of lowering my defenses, calming down a little bit more. So yeah, I don't know. I was trying to talk about that earlier, but yeah, it's been quite a crazy day, despite everything else that yeah, it's good. Hi, welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a, how do you say it? Yeah? Welcome. I don't know if you know this game, but this game is quite disastrous. I hope you can enjoy it. Yeah. But yeah, I was saying. What was I saying? Great question, I forgot. Something about. Oh, I actually forgot. I am amazing. It was all for the sake of the beat, but I did forget. Oh. No, that yes, something else, the whole quality of things that end up requiring in terms of. You can call me CC. Okay, I see. Makes sense. So then, welcome CC. Polums are infected. What is a polum? Great question. A polum is that thing which I just destroyed. I'm amazing. Cannot see. This thing is a polum. There we go. Is it? I am so accustomed to this game. I haven't really thought about that. Like, is it visually understandable what happens most of the time, or is it too high intense activity for somebody who never played it before? That's a question that I cannot answer, sadly. Something about having... How am I? Great. Very, very great, I will say. Yeah. I was actually trying to say something about that, yeah. Today particularly, I have to go out there, and sadly, living in a country which is incredibly hot, that comes with its difficulties. But, despite all of that, it is enjoyable to go out. It is part of life to encounter things out there and enjoy the experience of being, even if, once again, it is to some extent difficult. But great, yeah. In overall, it's not like I feel any, no, this room, no, can happen, can absolutely happen. Man, why this room? And there is not even one that I would actually want. Amazing. The mechanic here is this room. Let me explain it, I guess, just in case. This room has multiple things in the ground. You have to take one, but the problem is all the other ones that you don't take give you detriments to the run. So it's like Perhaps you win something good. Perhaps. Most of the time, the things that you have to leave behind, they're all called diseases. Diseases in themselves are horrible. It's good. It's not going to cost me to run, for sure. I don't know. I'm over worried. Perhaps it truly won't. And if it does, it's all fine, yes. Good chance. Ah, that thing was free. Great. Goop. Gunpowder. Chance for it to explode on enemies. I guess that. Yes. There you go, brother. Okay. Boss encounter. But yeah, I was saying. I cannot really multitask when fighting people. I shouldn't do that. I can. It's not that I can't. I shouldn't. I should actually focus on surviving. Oh my god. Okay, that's the boss, I think. Yeah. That is this entire boss without any damage whatsoever. Amazing. Gadgets develop and speed, higher chance for items to drop. Good. And I got my feeling also. So, let me I can give you like, oh, thanks. There you go. Something else? Anything else? No, right? Okay, yeah, we can leave. Oh, yeah. What a game. Why are there so many secret rooms? What's up with that? There are... Fuck? I actually don't get that. I guess that happens. That can happen, for sure. But yeah, I was saying. Now for real. I mean, actually continue with what I was trying to say. But yeah, I don't know, something about the whole aspect of so many things that in themselves can be said are negative. But I don't know, I haven't sticky little fellas, charts, shots, throw up, spiders, amazing. I was trying to say, yeah, that... Well, there are some things that could be in themselves called difficult. Most of life is truly not all that annoying. There is a lot of... Yeah, I encounter things and I decide to call them annoying. Even if they really are not that much in themselves. It's easier for me to act like they are absolutely annoying to the degree to which I end up then, yeah, not enjoying my day simply because of what I had to do at one point throughout it. The whole... What's the... To some degree it's a odd expression, but to some unavoidably it's not the best way to approach the whole scenario of... Ah yeah, have you thought about... You put it in terms of cash. You have your pile of cash, and I don't remember it, but it's somewhere around. You have, let's say, I think it is like $40,000. You have your $40,000, but inside of that whole pile of cash, you also realize that sadly there is perhaps $5 or $10 that are bad. Are you going to let those $5 or $10 dictate how you deal with the rest? How do you get through? Amazing. Probably. Twitch to William. Thank you so much, Twitch. But yeah, I was saying. Sometimes get gifts or get mono. This is the second time that I find that power. This is the second time that I get mono I love mono. Can't happen. Anyways, I was saying that the whole example of you have your pile of cash, the pile of cash has instead of it like you have 40,000 and instead of those 40,000 only 10 are bad and you say, yeah, you know what, this from this 10 bad dollars, then that means that the entire pile was horrible. That whole attitude is definitely quite correct in terms of, yeah, actually that serves the purpose of solving situations and not being so frustrated when things might be bad. Like, I don't know, today, in the end, yeah, it was quite, I wouldn't say heated, hot, yeah. It was absolutely hot out there, but it isn't that well. Everything got to go well, so it was great. And I guess the whole it always is difficult to actually talk out the whole notion of to begin with anything, we get to be here. Isn't that already a great starting point? To get to live another day, to see the sun come down yet another instance. Isn't that beautiful already? How much more do we actually need to be fulfilled or to be finding ourselves all feeling like things are much greater? I am pretty sure that with just knowing that things are good, that we should be satisfied, you know, with just having in mind the reality of, yeah, now we are indeed continuing with being. The act itself of being hasn't been interrupted because of something entirely out of our control, you know, that whole aspect. Loved up. Boop 10 enemies. I don't even know what booping an enemy is, but whatever you say. And Frozen Army. I would hit the Frozen Hypothermia 1 plus 2 combo. Amazing. This game is so intricate, so wonderful. I guess, yeah. Also, something tells me that these enemies are respawning things that they shouldn't be spawning for some reason. Probably it has to do with the 20,000 unnecessary sicknesses that I got somewhere, somehow. Probably. Is it entirely related to that? Perhaps, perhaps not. I will tell myself that it isn't. Yeah, unavoidably that enemy doesn't shoot green stuff, so yeah, it happens. Can happen, guys. We are not investigate. We are not going to investigate that any further. Also, this is a treasure map. Me when the treasure map exists. The One Piece is a real. Not to say it. I didn't really have to. It's just about me. Excuse me. Oh yeah. Ah, this is actually a broken room. This is literally everything here. I think is free. Make an explosion on combo, multiples of 2. Yeah, every single thing here is free. So a sidearm wrapped. What? Inflation teeth shoots a bouncy bullet. Ah, this is whenever I shoot. What? How do I activate that actually? This is a condition to activate that. Okay, there we go. Sometimes it does activate. But an explosive tooth from the air, what? No way. What do you mean? Whatever. Calcification. Shoot gums harder and block bullets. Shooting out gums when hardened fires of multiple bullets. Okay. I see. Makes sense. Makes sense. Now, the highest priority thing target is to kill the mono. I cannot kill the mono. Hey, I forgot about that quality. My favorite is mono. How much you benefit me every single day. What is it? Mono? As in mononucleosis, I think it is. I think. I don't really know. It is. Root canal is boomerang teeth. Make explosions. And this is. There is a mounted shotguns. Shotguns fire a stunning projectile. Is that? Deflecting parry bullets creates bullet orbitals. I will go with this, just in case. Also, I got, yeah, that of them, good. This thing is good because it can give you more power-ups if you give him some of your HP. I shouldn't really do it, but I have so much of it. In the end, it's not really all that like, not going to entirely kill me, for sure. The armed minus, no, 50% chance to dodge a grenade when firing it under a stun. No! I didn't mean to give you another one. Can happen. It gave me back my teeth. Amazing. Amazing. Life is so great. Oh, the joy of getting free stuff. What a beauty. No, let's. Can I actually win, bro? Can you actually let me win? Just this one. Once. Or perhaps not. What is this? Gunpowder. Okay. Yeah. This is the thing that we had to look for. I forgot. This is the secret room, basically. Or the bounty room, more than secret room. Bounty room. And it is amazing because it gives you free power-ups. In exchange for your life, basically. And particularly for somebody like me, that's absolutely broken. The floor is lava? Great. What a great buff. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess. Shoot it when you roll. Stunned enemies? Hey. Nihilism? Depends a lot on what you mean. I think it's understandable and an understandable posture in terms of whenever you are talking about philosophy in itself as a proper methodology, I guess, so a proper thing. Like, you can utilize nihilism or the notion of things very well. If you're talking about nihilism in terms of, yeah, I throughout my day have become a very nihilist person, as in I go having that nihilist spirit with me, you know? That much cannot really be that great. Or, weather is not that great. The situation is, it's difficult to say that properly in terms of, I cannot. To be nihilist, many cases, is also to be, to some extent, quite a sad person in terms of there is a deep sadness carried with the whole process of, yeah, you know what? I should associate myself in an absolutely negative manner to reality, and I should make sure that I see so much of this world in such a negative light, and because that happens to such an extent, it certainly is bad to be so willing to always talk about things so badly. So it's more beneficial to try to not be entirely nihilist out everything. Nihilism can be a beautiful tool for ideas. The situation is that it can also nowadays be not only used for thoughts, like you cannot have a nihilist view only most of the time. It's difficult to keep it in the, it's an expression that I am making up really, but it's hard to keep it up in the mind when you are thinking out stuff and not extrapolate nihilism into your everyday life basically and say, yeah, you know what, things are so dark here nowadays and things are so impossible to deal with, and let then nihilism be what dominates your entire day, so to speak. At that point, once again, it's bad. But if you're capable of harnessing it, so to speak, it's good. It's, well, it's not really that bad in terms of, why would it be bad to be capable of having an absolutely negative view on things that otherwise you wouldn't really have? Nihilism is useful as long as you can actually understand why it is useful in terms of, it's incredibly great to know how to see things in their worst light, basically. And in that sense, you could say nihilism comprehended to some degree as, what is it? A step closer to in itself, a radical negation of most things. But I guess at this point, I have said it enough times, it's hard to actually have that happen. Most times, people don't really can control it in that way, sadly. So, it's not really the nihilism that you encounter out there is not really that great, basically, sadly. That's what I think about it. Thank you. Hope that answers your question properly. But yes, that's my thought on that. I guess. I don't know. I feel like unavoidably, it's like, what is it? Paradigmatic, no. Pragmatism, for example. It's something like, you tell me that you're very pragmatic in your life and such. It depends so much on what you actually mean with what you are saying. There is a lot of love for the tautological aspect whenever I talk philosophy with a quote-unquote serious philosopher, because sadly, in the end, it ends up being true that a lot of things do require a lot more specification when said. So that I keep on insisting on what do you actually mean is annoying as fuck, indeed. But it is still true that it's much better to actually know what you're saying, to be capable of understanding what you're trying to say, because you are being absolutely clear in your explanation and whatnot. You tell me that you're very pragmatic. What does that mean? Are you very subjective? Are you very what? Because, my point is, as much as you can hear somebody say, I am such a nihilist, I am such a... For example, I am not a negative person. I just try to be honest with the world and not set up my standards too high or impossible to actually reach and whatnot. I don't really think, in that sense, it is entirely true. It's simpler for one to say, I might be this thing, than to actually get to be the thing in itself. Basically that's the issue. I don't really know that many nihilist people. I know people that are depressed. That's the situation, that's the problem. I know people who are depressed, and I know people who sadly can utilize grandiose sounding words in order to hide behind those ideas and other entirely different notions, so as to not speak about their true nature. Like, for example, I am not a cynic person in terms of philosophy. I am not somebody cynical. I am just somebody who tries to be the real, that same way of thinking about this stuff. I don't really know, man. Sometimes when I hear somebody speak, when I encounter somebody and the way in which they interact with stuff, you don't really give me the vibes of a cynic. You don't really argue in the same way in which a cynic would actually do. You seem to be a lot more disappointed in the entire world than what any other cynic that I have seen before was, But we say, yeah, you're a cynic, and I am not going to really ask you much more, because sometimes sadly the whole aspect of you know that you're using the wrong term, right? I tell you that, and you get angry, and we both end up discussing for so many hours, and you don't really change your view even. I end up sadly being affected negatively because of that, because I waste my time, I make you waste your time, nothing else to anything, and it was also meaningless. But yeah, in that sense entirely. Sadly, nihilism falls under the same category of, yeah, you know what, I'm such a nihilist person. I don't think so. I most certainly don't think so. I have gotten to know enough people that have utilized that. You can hide behind the flag of being a nihilist. You might as well, the moment in which you decide to act based on your own beliefs, is the moment in which you sort of end up suddenly showing that, yeah, no, you're not. You truly understand that. You truly did not have that suddenly. Yeah, I think that's the explanation, yes. Also, wait, I cannot see the minimap? No, don't tell me that I fucked up again. I picked up the thing that doesn't let you see the minimap. Which... which one is it? This one? This one. This one. Minimap is less filled out, yeah, this one. This one is trash. Deserved. Deserved for not paying attention, yes. But I mean, like, another good example, thinking about it, is, for example, the whole aspect of when somebody says, yeah, I understand what Descartes meant with I think therefore I am. It's once you slowly get to explore the real text, you realize, I might not have actually understood anything before I said that I did, because in the end, nobody else really read them, so who out there is going to actually correct me in my wrongness, you know? But it's, I don't know, it's the whole quality of knowledge. It's quite easy to make stuff up, make it look like you actually understand, make it look like you actually are aware of things. Like, for example, the whole semiotical play of, I know the words themselves, I don't really know their meaning, but as long as I can make you believe that I know what I am saying, you are going to truly have in your mind the notion of, you're such a clever person, you're not actually making a proper usage of the ideas, the notions and whatnot, but you're playing along, and I do not realize that that's happening, so I congratulate you on that, and we each go our own ways. Me without ever realizing that you didn't know, you without ever having to deal with the encounter of somebody who truly wants to see what you know, if you know anything at all, sadly. So yeah, I don't know, it's... life tends to have many of those encounters, and sadly, I guess philosophy is one of those fields that opens itself up the most to all of that, because in the end, yeah, you can... there is a way to much stuff, and in the classics, we have an easy time talking about, yeah, you know this thing, you know that thing, yeah, but the more you divert into modernity and whatnot, at that point it actually gets incredibly hard to be capable of having the time, the patience, the interest to explore the newer things, and that ends up making the whole aspect of, yeah, I have also seen what you are talking about myself happen, because yeah, there is a much lower propensity for the actual exploration of those things, of those ideas and authors and whatnot. Like, not just modernity, post-modernity, all of that basically. In this case, yeah, all of them encapsulated between the under the same web, because for this argument, it is true that yeah, people don't really care about but you're talking to me about something that isn't really that understandable. You're talking to me about something that isn't really that modern, that current. We all act like it is, but we truly aren't. And at that point, I can still talk to you properly, but you want to talk to me about philosophy of, I don't know, what's modern enough in a way, somebody like Heidegger, somebody like Sioran, people of that sort, people who, I don't know, in the last 50 years wrote something, let's say. I don't know, no. Unavoidably, the only one that I wouldn't consider behind all of that is somebody like Vtuber. I guess the whole aspect of more philosophy for the sake of selling. Yeah, that one is really not that good compared to the rest. There is sadly that quality of yeah, this is philosophy, but to which extent it really is philosophy, you know, like. I feel so happy when I read Milton Han. For sure, I am. The world entirely is the problem. I have no situation myself to suffer from, to suffer about, to be distressed by. The world is what's wrong, and I get to finally hear that from an intelligent person also who tells me that indeed the world is what's bad, not me. So I am so happy with all of that. I am tired, but that's not my problem. It's the problem of the world and the culture in which I live, which forces me to be like that. And the best of the conclusions that he has to have, I guess nowadays I can finally say it in terms of, and yeah, you know what? There is a problem. And the best thing is that the modern man, or the modern human, cannot really do anything about the state of problems. So we all shall just suffer and nothing else, because the solution has already departed from our world. Because to think about solving what haunts the current person is in itself unachievable. Because the grand scheme of things, the grander, the bigger system, overarching power, is so much more oppressive than ever before. But yeah, I don't know. It's just this, I guess. Point is that yeah, there are many things that fall under that same premise of, yeah, you know what? We don't really understand what we're talking about, but we shall act like we do. And for example, you don't really, for somebody like, particularly, it actually is a good example. When you think about somebody like Bill Jong-han, you actually have an incredibly good example of, you don't really need to read the guy. It's not exactly that he writes pamphlets. He writes brief enough stuff to make it actually possible for the reader. The comparison would be a pamphlet. As in somebody that, I don't know, I think it has like 50 or so pages, not that much basically. And the point is that because it is so incredibly brief, you don't really have no need to care about what he truly wrote. You can just read a quick summary and with that have already seen what he is about. And because of that, have no need at all whatsoever of truly approaching the text. And therefore, it happens even more strongly what I mentioned of, I tell you that I know, I make it look like I know, and both of us can never truly know if I do know or not in its entirety, because I, as the person who you are talking to, I don't really want to see if you do know or not. I would have to spend so much time actually testing your knowledge in order to truly find out if that is the case or not. that how I shall accept you telling me that you know, and we shall continue the assumption of you being honest about your knowledge of this given topic. But yeah, it's basically I have about at this point I don't know given like 3 or 4 necessary examples to some degree of the same thing. That yeah, people say a lot of times, yeah, I am so aware of these things, I am so up to date with these authors and whatnot. Not really. Some of them are quite difficult to actually read. Like for example, in more hard philosophy, for example, most people have never and probably never will read Hegel. But we can all act like we do and we understand what he's talking about. Hegel being one of the predecessors of many of the modern philosophers and whatnot, to the degree to which, if you ever feel like trying to understand somebody like, to some degree even not just Marx is an obvious, somebody even like, what's his name? Nietzsche, sometimes you have to read him. Or particularly not so much Nietzsche, okay, the professor of Nietzsche, Schopenhauer, to understand somebody like him, you need to go through Hegel too, but nobody here is going to do that. And it's, sadly, it is absolutely understandable to some degree too. It's such a fucking difficult author to actually go through. It's so obtuse to read, such a horrible prose, such a bad way of depicting his ideas and whatnot, that it makes sense that people don't really want to read him, sadly. Same as, I don't know, when you talk about epistemology, telling me that you're going to read Kant, it's quite hard, actually. Unless you can follow somebody like, I don't know, Aristotle's way of doing philosophy, you're going to have such a hard time trying to follow Kant by yourself. It is hard to base on something that it's too annoying to actually deal with. So, once again, we'll say that we understand, we know, and we escape reading it in itself. But that is the processing of knowledge in general, like, it will always happen. It always happens with everything to some degree. Same as, I mean, I don't know, is there any good example or particularly unique example in that sense? People are always saying that they know stuff, even if they do not. It doesn't matter which field you're talking about, sadly. That's the simple notion, basically. Yeah. I will tell you that I am aware of what we are trying to talk about. No, not really. But, yeah. My point is, yeah, makes sense. Sadly, I like nihilism, but not what we end up seeing most out there when somebody says, yeah, I'm such a nihilist person. No, you're not. You're a negative person. You're somebody who should be, under all lights, told, perhaps depressed. But you're not a nihilist. Under any circumstance, you're not a nihilist. You do not have the proper nihil to begin with. You only have a negative way of reacting and living in the world, but that doesn't make you a nihilist. If every sad person was a nihilist, we should truly then have so many more of them existing, but that is certainly not the case. Also, as I'm going to probably take a tiny break for now, I need to go and try to. Expression is idle break. If you get that, you get that. If you don't get that, don't worry, I will be back in 1 or 2 minutes, basically. So yeah, thank you. Give me a second. This. I just realized the music of this game feels like, what is it? At least this one currently playing. The one that you have in like Terraria, you know? The one that sounds sometimes. There we go. Okay, BRB. Yeah, give me a second. Probably I will be taking like 1 or 2 minutes actually. I need to get some water also. Yeah, I have drunk everything so far. What's up? I'm back. Am I back? Yes, indeed, I am back. So, why do I have like 20 different open tabs? I have all of them open when I was trying to watch the PNC. That makes sense. The PNC of the Dude Hat. That was so random. That was so absolutely random. Anyways, let me go back properly. Also, no wait. Give me a second. I actually need to drink something. Okay, it works more. Good evening. I'm back. Can you open the game, bro? Yes, here we are. Okay, I was in the middle of healing. Do I actually have anything else to actually heal? Yeah. This, I'm pretty sure, yes. Okay, I think we're good. The only issue is finding the boss. Something tells me that it is going to be so hard to find the boss. But it can happen, I guess. It's not like it's going to be the end, just because I didn't find the boss rapidly enough. Or luckily enough for us, the run is looking so good, I trust it. But yeah, yes, I was trying to say, I did remember while I was on the whole aspect of, and sadly, there is a lot of stuff that you encounter out there when you live your life. Basically, what I started with. what I want to continue with more in terms of, in my own life, I see problems and I see situations that might be to some degree, well, to some degree, not really all that annoying, but I make them look bad by allowing myself to truly think so negatively about them in itself. It doesn't really need to be a problem, but I constitute one the moment in which I let it truly simmer as such a negative influence on my own existence. So much of what affects me is so effective in itself because I did not do the work of demonstrating to myself that it isn't as horrible, as bad, as damaging as anything of that sort, which I make it up to be basically. But I don't know. It's great to also sometimes just be out there and encounter that. Luckily enough, today was a wonderful day because yeah, problems existed, but they didn't stop me. And I don't know. I haven't tried to. It's not that I haven't tried to in terms of I wasn't doing it before. It's along the lines of somehow it happened that I finally encountered myself thinking about it in a different light. The whole aspect of, and surprisingly enough, before I wasn't really all that aware, all that interested, and engaged in thinking in the whole aspect of. And there is also so much of the. There are problems that do exist and whatnot, and there is so much of those very same problems which once again in themselves are real. It's not like no, my encounters with bad things are fake. There is nothing bad in this world whatsoever. No, there are bad things, yeah, but there is so much of that also which has a lot to do with what did I do before those things actually became problems that I wasn't really aware about before. In terms of, I feel like there is always a huge potential for the realization, for the possession of awareness, let's say, of, but perhaps I am actually also allowing this thing to become a much bigger problem when it doesn't really need to be one. I am acting like it truly is the most harmful thing to me, myself, and I. When it doesn't need to be the case, it doesn't really need to be all that harmful, so to speak. And because I also did so much null work, basically, so many of those situations and whatnot also end up in themselves affecting me, yes, but because I literally refused to try and work in them, and I refused to let the situation change in any other way before it actually ended up becoming this problem and whatnot. Like, you could say a lot of life is now filled with situations which end up blowing up into actual problems before they actually, or not before, simply because one didn't want to do anything before. Yeah, like that. And I don't know, simply my point is trying to act on that sensation too leaves me to feel like on a lot of today is much nicer once you are actually engaged in existence, so to speak. Like, there are not so many bad things out there. There are not so many horrible situations and whatnot. It's just a matter of trying to see what can be done and trying to experience what this world offers and whatnot. And trying to, I guess, thinking about it, I was using the term reactiveness and proactive. Unavoidably, to see that indeed, it's, as always, harmful to simply be reactive. It's far more necessary to be proactive because it's quite good to actually do that. But yeah, I don't know. Life is a fun combination of so many things all at once that you never tend to sit down and have those analyzed in themselves, so to speak, you know? It always is whatever. And we are still fine with all of that. So So I'm trying to actually win. That was sorry for going silent. I don't want to mess up, as they will say. What hurt me? Something that special, unnameable something hurt me, as always. What? Oh my god. Okay, I guess it's almost done. I guess, I don't really know. Fuck. No, it isn't. Unavoidably it isn't. Well, it is great enough. Thank you. This enemy with this buff is actually dangerous, it tells me. It's going to take so long because I keep finishing him. So unnecessarily long. That's why. What? There are so many balls standing there and doing literally nothing. What's up with that? Can happen, I guess. There we go. That's how I like my bosses. Easy. I am actually going to win. Unsurprisingly. No. It is actually surprising, yeah. But the most surprising thing is how long the run took. Like, it isn't even done yet, but yeah. It's part of playing something like this, I guess. Being prepared to deal with just so much stuff. Anything else to add? No, I guess. I still no. I have no clue why I have such a high respawn rate of enemies, but I'm not going to complain in terms of honor. What an annoying thing. Wait, I have full tensure. Amazing, amazing. This is, I think this is like the requisite for true ending or something like that. We are on track for a great thing. Oh my god! What was that? This is a shoot 'em up out of nowhere, a real shoot 'em up I cannot even aim? Amazing. Who could have predicted that? Whatever that is. What happened? Why am I playing out of nowhere a shoot 'em up? What's the story behind that? Variety skin side of the developer, and he was so right. Sorry for not trusting you, Mr. Developer. You were always right. No! I lost. No, I didn't lose. I could lick 3 enemies, I licked 3, and I didn't lose yet, so that means that I'm good. Now I lost, I think. How many enemies can I actually lick? Because I licked like way too many. And I still haven't been punished for that, so. I'm gonna shoot them up a level. Shoot them up a gummy. Okay, I guess. Do I even gain anything for that? Like, why did that happen? I didn't gain anything, whatever. I lost HP! Amazing. Ah. Can't happen. Sometimes you don't get any reward. But the problem was not that you don't get it. It was that you were expecting it to happen. The expectation of the reward is what kills you, not the lack of the reward itself. Your approximation to the situation is far more significant, quote unquote. But yeah, I was saying basically before, the whole aspect of, and I don't know, I feel like now the whole notion of, yeah, indeed, the problems that are out there and the situations that come to life and whatnot, based on how the person can approximate existence in that way of, I can actually be reactive or proactive and whatnot. A lot of it I feel like it has to do also with the whole approach of, but in which way can I try to actually, realistically speaking, be more or less active? Because sometimes it's possible to be, but sometimes it's so impossible to actually do anything. Or I feel like it's possible to actually do something. You can always force situations which could lead you to encounters, let's say, but to do so in itself is not really all that great. To do so in itself is not really all that reason. Yet, it's normalized that the person will always be willing to have so much of that happen, no matter what. So much of encounters with those settling situations, so to speak. Even if they find themselves harmed in some way, even if they find themselves, I wouldn't say disoriented, but yeah, quite unwilling to progress any further, basically, from the encounter with those things themselves. It's the whole bag of, yeah, so much of this feels so crazy nowadays. No one feels like saying anything out of that in itself, though. Even if it is crazy, it's good. Quote unquote, not like it truly is good, but we cannot afford to say that it isn't good, basically. Who can actually say no, yeah? But at least, I guess, the only point, not the exact only thing that matters, but the proper consequence of that is always that unavoidably, at least we have the possibility of now saying a lot more openly, it's at least all good, because a lot more has truly turned out to be about simply the way in which you deal with the world. Even if sometimes it also is wrong to make the person so responsible for everything in that overwhelming way. The whole destiny of the universe rests on your hands. Not really, man. No, not really. But it's simpler, faster, more normal to say so and to act according to that than to go in a different direction. Also, I finally get the benefit of the diseases and actually grabbing them, because if you don't, they keep reappearing, and you keep not picking them up, and you keep screwing yourself simply because they will keep appearing more and more and more, eternally. So you will keep getting the debuffs from the diseases. Makes sense. It's understandable. My challenge. No, that's the rolling. Alright, yeah. I like how I cannot get rid of any of his bullets somehow. No, yeah, I can actually sometimes. Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. And that sometimes is more than enough for me, I guess. No! I lost. Got overconfident. Is this thing? Possession shrink. Good enough. this thing? This guy? I think he... Ah, this is skewered. Whatever you say. It's the very heal room. I think that's placed almost at the end of the run, so that you, in case of you having way too many bad things, you always get to survive. I think. I don't really know. But well, anyway, I should probably drink something. Yes, actually, give me a second before I forget about the sensation itself. And an hour passes and I end up dying because I didn't drink anything. Okay, I'm good. Also, we haven't had any one instance, even one singular instance of lag. That is crazy. At least for me. In my eyes, I would say, yeah. That is surprising enough. I would have expected to lag at the very least a little bit, you know? What a amazing enemy respawn. Exactly what I needed. Takes so long to fight them simply because I get 20,000 shots deflected, cancelled, eliminated. Even when I deflect them back, they disappear. You are such a great enemy. Okay, true. What hit me? Did I literally spawn inside of an enemy? Are you joking with me, man? You have to be joking with me, like. You're actually fucking with me. No! Okay. Almost died. Didn't die. No, not exactly that, but... No, B, we need to be a little bit dramatic. What is life without our inner dramas? What is existence without the overestimation of the problems which arise internally for the person? What is to be without the weight of making being in itself look so well? You, for the love of God, die? No, don't duplicate. I beg you, die already. I love the mechanic which forces me to be sitting in a room with one singular enemy until it finally decides to let me kill it. There we go. That's not the reward room. Great. Celebrate. Amazing, so many buffs. Mega Driller. First take on each level digs 3 spaces in a line. Understandable. Great enough, I guess. But anyways, this is in the bag. This is it. This finally is a good run. Poison tooth. Get it out of your mouth. Did explode on a wall collision. This. The library of Ruina. I was going to lie. I was gonna say I have heard about it. I have heard about it. Yes, I have no clue what the game is about. I have so much no clue about what the game itself is about. Indeed, I have heard about it. I have no clue what it is about. It's an absolute lie to say, yeah, Library of Ruina for sure would be a great game. I have no clue. Let me do my work. Let me pause here for a second and look it up, actually. At some point in my life, I should actually look up things before forgetting that whole aspect of postergating and letting things go and so much. Library of Ruina. Let me see. has a page on Steam. Amazing. Project Moon. Isn't this one of the games? It's in Korean, I think. So I'm pretty sure it's from the Limbus whole experience. I think it's good. The problem is I have a visceral hate for gachas. I hope it isn't really gacha. It doesn't. Does it have? It's on sale right now, I think. Cool. What the it wow. It costs $30. It was such a great game until I saw the price. Sorry, I am a very you were unaware you weren't aware about that. You cannot be blamed for that, but I don't really have that much cash to buy games. I am playing this because I got to buy it for like $2. One day probably we will be talking in different terms, but right now those prices are astronomically high for me. I cannot buy something like that. I can give you an explanation like what are you talking about? Why can you not buy the thing that I'm saying? Because there is an actual explanation behind that. But the quick summary is that yeah, I will have it in consideration one day in the distant future things will get much better and we will say, yeah, you know what, today we shall play finally Area of Ruina. But that day is not today. Nor tomorrow, no, so what the fuck is this enemy? New enemy? Amazing. This game never stops amazing me. It's fine, thank you for your understanding, yes. It's part of the process. Sadly. Absolutely sadly in that sense, yeah. Nothing to really do about that. Man. Did I actually find the mini watch? I have been looking for it for the last 10 minutes or so also. But I don't know, I guess I like is there any proper name for that? Like I like to say that I love playing games which let me turn off my brain. What I am playing right now doesn't really require me to think so much about what's happening. From time to time I sleep into actually becoming a literal descriptor of, oh wow, now on screen we have me hitting a very hard enemy, wow. But most of the time I love the capacity of not having to do that. Not need, what the fuck? The poison. Not needing to do that at all. And the situation is, games of that sort give me such a high trouble. Doesn't mean I am speaking completely out of place. I haven't even played it, sorry. I haven't even played what you're talking about. Sorry. Perhaps it's such a great game in that sense too. I have no clue. The person loves to boast. Though I do like the monsters because they're always humans, but they are twisted in a way. Great. But in the end, isn't the human the beast of the monsters? Isn't the person which sits next to you the beast of the trolls out there? No, I'm being a student. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I guess what do I actually like? Like, I do like this game, but I think that I properly like is, I don't know. Something that I do like is the kind of game which possesses within itself some sort of allegory, some sort of analysis that can be extracted from it and whatnot, and sadly it's not that all of that is absent on most games, but it feels quite hard to do that. Like, what's a good game? I have been trying to set up myself so that I can have, I don't know, a free entire month of my life to play something like, I don't actually remember right now the name itself. The game that is about the guy the, the game that is about taking decisions, making decisions with. Fuck, it's so impossible to describe it because unavoidably I'm so bad at describing stuff. Sorry. But it's. I will have it. I will I will finally finish this fight and I will be capable of describing it. I promise you. Sorry for multitasking necessarily in this case. We're almost there. I think this is the second to last boss, so shouldn't be much more that we have to endure on me struggling to get out the sentences because I am multitasking. But you get it. I've been suffering with this game for so long now. I wanted to win at least once, so I need to do it. My ego cannot take not being capable of winning at least once in hard mode. Beat the game on hard mode. Amazing. And it isn't at all finished, because for some reason this guy came. Only God knows why. So what is all of that stuff? Huh? Huh? What is my endgame? Huh? What happened? Why did it not actually end? What happened? What? It actually not end. Did I beat the final boss? Oh my god, it's another parry enemy. Favorite mechanic. What hit me? Ah, the venom. The venomous teeth. What a great mechanic. Okay, let me heal. Respawning stuff. It's all good, I guess. It's all good, it's all good. It's part of the experience. This. For some reason there is another level, so should do that, I guess. And even more. No, I have to kill this guy. Amazing. I finally get it. Now it all makes sense. Amazing. It was all an allegory. It was you against the beast who you used to call your friend before. Now you realize it was always against you. But it is perhaps too late to do anything meaningful about that. Only the notion of the abandonment of your desires exists, remains. What the fuck? What is that thing? Also, what do I have to hit? Like, also I have such low life, I'm probably going to die. Something tells me. Wow, you. Why did I? It's all good. 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 It's all great. It's all great. At least I won, I guess. My god. Okay. It's frustrating, yeah. It's not the worst, but it's bad. This collision, now I finally remember, yeah. I said it, the moment in which I finally end, it wasn't even... Oh no, yeah, but you were alt-tabbing. I was alt-tabbing, but I didn't have enough time to actually open a new tab, find the game that I was talking about, stare at a blank space. No, yeah, sorry. I have some mental faculties. That's why I was capable of actually remembering. But yeah, this collision, that kind of game seems to be amazing, and I very much want to play it one day. But I feel like it's an experience, something that you should be capable of. It sounds like weird, you know, to say it, but yeah, respect the intended experience and be able, therefore, of actually interacting with it wholeheartedly, dedicate yourself to it, you know? Not just go out there and never think about what you're doing and what not. But rather, yeah, you know what? Today, we're gonna be playing this collision. I don't know even. I don't think, to some degree, I feel like games of that sort, which do possess within themselves so much text and so much stuff to think out, might not even need at all any form of sharedness. It's good to have it happen. I like when I see somebody play it, but at the same time, I don't really feel like it's exactly the most necessary upgrade, so to speak. So what is this? This thing is so entirely different from everything else. This is an absolutely crazy upgrade, I guess. I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting una weather is something along the lines of a... What is it? Of a droid to navigate, but not this thing. This seems amazing. Also, I like that it has some weird thing over there. I have no clue what it is. It has bombs. Only God knows what those bombs do. But yeah, I was saying, this collision and such, I feel like I don't know whether to some extent games that are... It's not bad to share them, like playing Hero and whatnot, but at the same time, it's quite in itself. It mutates the final experience, and I don't think it's something that needs to happen. I don't need to mutate the experience. It's something that within itself already possesses enough importance and gives enough things to whoever is truly willing to go through the whole aspect of, yeah, let's see what this is out, and let's see what we can encounter here, and let's see how much we can enjoy it, and all of that. But otherwise, it's unnecessary to actually go through the whole aspect of, yeah, you know what? Play it here. I don't think so. I don't think so. Absolutely, I don't think so. It isn't a requirement at all. What is this? B speed? Base? What is B speed? Whatever is B speed, my man. Bullet speed, I guess. Yeah, bullet speed. Also gets 2 free upgrades. I have no clue how amazing that is. But yeah, I was saying. And I don't know, I like... Still, it's a good idea to try probably and play something like that, but in the end, I do still feel like, perhaps not. I will keep it to myself. I will keep it very hidden in my deepest clavicle, because it deserves to be full and so like, I don't know. For example, when you do something like a watch along, you know, to some extent it's good to do it. To some extent it's also... It modifies the base experience that you end up having of the thing. You know that things change. Even if I do not want to admit that something is changing, when I introduce these other altering factors, there is still an alteration, no matter what I say or not about that. And yeah, it's nice to have the opportunity to enjoy them. But in that sense, I can say, yeah, no, it's not at all the case with something like Library of Ruina. I have seen enough about it. I have seen a very handful, a very few gameplay, very little gameplay, better to say, yeah. And indeed, it's great, but it's not the kind that falls under that same category. But it does serve it for me to say, yeah. And I don't know, sometimes it does feel like people forget that also it's nice to enjoy the experience itself, and unchanged, unfiltered, unmodified, and unaltered, and whatnot. It's possible to not do it, like, you don't really need to worry about that much, but at the same time, isn't it like also great to some degree to be capable of consuming what you are being given? Exactly. Yeah, but you live in a very modifying, so to speak, medium in which everyone is so willing and so accustomed to everything being transformed every single instance, because in the end, that is what is the norm, and that is what has been said as good, so to speak. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that it needs to stay the same simply because of that. We still possess to some degree will in terms of, I don't feel like I need to do that. Like, I don't know, for a proper example, I guess, will be something like, I'm trying to actually think out that I will do something like that. Besides discolism, as I said before, I don't know. Probably something like Outer Worlds to some degree deserves that degree of respect, you know? Of, yeah, let's see how slowly everything unfolds and let's enjoy the whole experience by myself. Because, I don't know, I like the aspect of, yeah, we can have moderation here. It's true, but it doesn't entirely eliminate the possibility of somebody comes here tomorrow and spoils the entire plot, subplot and whatnot. And that can then, once again, alter the final experience to a noticeable degree, when that doesn't need to happen. And then to expose yourself to that much is really, I will say, yeah, absolutely necessary. Once again, you don't have to do that. It can happen, you don't have to do that. But yeah, I don't know. Even so, there are so many other games that are so absolutely amazing. It's, I keep pressing shift, I shouldn't press shift at all. It's a lot also about, even then, there are so many other beautiful, wonderful experiences to see, to go through, to share. There are so many. I always love to talk about that to some degree, because it's the sad reality. So much of what you can encounter out there are hidden gems, completely unappreciated. What are you? Are close to the touch, and no foul stench do I smell. Okay, so this guy cannot do it. Cheek, I guess. I guess. I can only guess. Yeah, I was saying that there is a huge degree of. There are so many games that also suddenly will never get at all any exposition whatsoever, and that's a problem. That's a sad reality. Because that doesn't need to be like that. Yet we have gotten so accustomed to it, so it is for those other much less known games that it also becomes worth what more can be explored. Despite, I don't know, once again, this Coliseum and the I don't know, the Half-Life or for example, yeah, now I finally remember a good example. Something like God of War, the newer ones. I feel like unavoidably it is such a narrative-based game. It's very good to have the capacity to experience it by oneself in terms of actually pay attention to what is being said. That is one of those games that I actually love in terms of, wow, it has so much meaning hidden unavoidably, but still present within it. Amazing, I killed myself. Precision, little gummy, soft one. I have here an aid. Take it? No. I deserve to die, actually. I didn't mean to do it, but I died, so. What is this? Huh? I'll retry, I guess, yeah. This is way too much of a weird. Unavoidably, it's not a tooth, so to begin with that, but of a weird thing to control, I guess, compared to everything else. It is so strange, once again, compared to all the other stuff that you already have in the game. It's so so absurd that it takes a second for me to actually understand how to control it properly. I think it has like almost no iframes for some reason also. It's the funniest part of this. But it can happen, I guess. Also, if I press shift, I was wrong. If I press shift, it is a wide map lens, basically. Good. Damage? What the fuck? Does... Excuse me? Can I... and this thing finally has stats! I see. Great. This is the only dude that has stats. Also, welcome son, I hope you're very well. The problem is, what the fuck do those things mean? What is red teeth, blue teeth, pink teeth? Have no clue. I think this one is damage, and this one quantity, and the heart. What does the heart mean? Huh? Only God knows. But anyway, we can win. The point is we can win. Seems like a simpler thing to utilize. Also, I think I got something like a soy milk comparison. Isaac comparison inbound. But then, something like that. Because otherwise I have no clue what I really got. But wait, what was it? Yeah, I was saying, sorry. I lost myself probably when I realized that games like God of War are actually... Is it story-driven una void or story-driven? Most games are story-driven, bro. Like, story first and foremost. You have to center around the narration of the story and whatnot. That's the point. And... So it's powerful, but it can be your downfall? Absolutely. It's... I don't really think it's that powerful. I feel like on a oil in this case, it's more damaging than anything else. Also, this is all lowering my damage for some reason. Why do I get to have no damage at all? Can I at some point have some damage? Also, I got bullet poisoning now. Whatever that does, my man. Whatever you say. But yeah, I was saying. Games. I know. Finally, I remember. Something like probably God of War 3, implying that one day they finally make it. Something like that. If I had the opportunity, I would love to play that by myself. No, I don't feel like those are games to be like, yeah, you know what, let's go here and let's all enjoy them. No, whatever, it's good to enjoy it. The capacity to share is something beautiful. The most amazing characteristic of the human being is its capacity, its innate capacity to share the meaningful moments with the rest of the world. That's great, but that doesn't mean that in its entirety it's absolutely necessary to share everything. And games of that sort require a particular kind of attention. Sadly, also first and foremost, because honestly speaking, yeah, they do have a lot of hidden meanings, allegories, metaphors, and whatnot, and I don't think I can do something like that if I am here playing. Like, I can barely analyze things when I am absolutely focused on that here sometimes. Now imagine trying to do that while also playing in the whole aspect of, yeah, let's react to it and whatnot. Some experiences deserve to be fully enjoyed. And to do those experiences through this filter alters them in a way in which I don't really know if that is altered right. Also, I don't even know how much time I have been here. I feel like a handful of minutes, hours, only God knows. But yeah, my point is, probably after this run I should call it a day, I think so. Unavoidably, because tomorrow I still have classes, so I need to wake up early enough to attend, to have enough rest, basically. So, it will be a good idea. What do you do? cannot remove anything, man. What the fuck? Totally. Also, I don't get sicknesses, right? Like, what's the point behind that? Do I just pick up any chip that I see? Like, that's the mechanic here? I have such a lack of understanding for this character. It's so... At least you cannot say that this game isn't unique enough with all of the stuff that it offers. It's beautiful. Fire rate. But it certainly throws a totally new curveball at you with stuff like this out of nowhere. Like, who could have expected a character like this out of nowhere? Yeah, I can enter there without trading the boss. Great enough. Great. Oh, yeah. No. Wait. You give me pills, right? Yeah, you give me pills. So, I don't need to. What's up with you, man? Can you wake up, Mr. Boss? Also, didn't I have... How many times did I die yet? One with this character, I think so. I couldn't have lost the whole bonus of I have... What do you say? Like... Venomous bullets. That could have happened. For sure, that could have happened. I am going to die. I have no damage whatsoever. Can't happen. It's part of the soy, yes. Here. Upgrade. Amazing. So I can basically infinitely farm the bosses. I see. Makes sense. Probably not. I am about to die for real this time. No. 1 HP. Amazing. Bro, can you die? I beg you. Can you get more poison? Can the poison do something? I hate this character. That's my concession today. I entirely despise this character. Why is it so strange? I don't know, let me see. How much time we have been here? We can do one more run and I am done for today. One more. Die. Yes. Just let me die. Thank you. You have to stop clinging to existence. It's not necessary this time. Driver, please. I trust that this time I'm going to die less. Or not at all. And so I say that, I take contact damage for no reason whatsoever. I am so amazing. But anyways, I was on the whole topic of games that deserve to be enjoyed wholeheartedly, quote unquote. It has a lot more to do with it's not exactly the word, but you can say actively enjoyed in terms of active listening and such, you know? Being entirely immersed in the act of enjoying what you're saying. How did can you pay attention, man? No, sorry. I have to speak. I have to open my mouth and say something. I cannot exist if there is no noise. What am I if there is silence? What is of my existence if I dare not speak? But well, I was saying that, yeah, the whole aspect of those kind of games, which are more enjoyable once you finally die, should be an option in every game. Indeed, entirely, actually, in my mind, it should be an absolute requirement. but it doesn't happen for some reason. At least, I don't know, okay, I guess the only issue that I have with that notion, you can say, is that it doesn't offer that to you directly. You have the whole aspect of, let me see, here, I have resume options, manual restart, or return. None of them is die. Here, I have to manually die in order to have the option of dying truly offered. I would love to have the possibility of that sounds bad, but it's the truth. Killing myself whenever I feel like doing it, you know? Sometimes. I'm going to have a nervous collapse. Going to. I swear to God, I'm not doing it intentionally. I am such. It's. You played! No, sorry. It's too hard, man. It's too different. It's too. What's different is unenjoyable. What it stands out is completely abnormal and completely transgresses what I have gotten accustomed to. I cannot play with this so easily. It's so fucking weird. Why does it act like that? Why does it move like that? Why is this character the way it is? I like it, but why is it like that? Yeah. But yeah, I was trying to say the whole option of actually letting them the most games should include the option of actually letting you kill yourself whenever you feel like doing it. Something that will let you end the run instantaneously. And to some degree, some games offer that in the form of, for example here, you can kill yourself with a sacrifice room. True. But to do that, you have to actually find the sacrifice room to begin with, which is not that easy sometimes, you know? Sometimes it's quite difficult to actually know where the fuck is the sacrifice room. And that comes with a, I wouldn't say heavy, but with a cost, simply put. So do you have something to say? I didn't talk to you directly. Huh? What are you? Ah, you said the same thing as when I... Yeah. You have no decision. Your metal code won't allow it. Wait, what? You have no decision. Your metal code won't allow it. I'll wait for your friends. Okay. I thought it said I wait for your decay. It was much more metal in my mind. Sorry again for overestimating you. I mean, already the game is so metal. It has so many amazing things. It can be absolutely pardoned to not be metal there too. It's acceptable. But yeah, I was saying. What was I saying? Great question. No, sorry. I do remember, quote unquote. The whole aspect of, I don't know, man. It's great that games have so many options. It's not like it always is a requirement, actually. Like, it's, I guess, appreciated to have something like that, because sadly, so much of progression is always associated directly with, yeah, are you actually directly getting, so to speak, the benefits and the buffs and whatnot that would allow you to, what is it? To see and to explore and to experience what comes after that. Like, for example, I mean, to be more precise, in a roguelike, you are almost always needing at some point to die. Therefore, it should be an almost logical inclusion in all of them, a button that lets you choose to die whenever you feel like doing so, whenever you feel like you have done what you wanted. If in the end, no, yeah, but you make the experiences even faster. You already know what you're doing, my man. It's not like, wow, what a crazy thing. You're offering me an even faster game. I prefer to have a shorter loop, just so that I can accomplish what I want. Even then, it's an option. It's not an obligation. Not because you give me the option to kill myself, I will every single time end the run by killing myself. No, I can choose when to do that, and sometimes runs do have the capacity of being ended without the need of dying, basically, like playing through all of it honestly, yes. But at some other points, I very much prefer to have the option of simply ending it rapidly and not having to go through the whole process of, oh wow, have I made sure that I visited everything? Have I made sure that I got everything? Sometimes that's also the problem, particularly with roguelikes, you know? There are some side quests and missions or roguelikes that possess meta progression that I need to do one particular objective. After that, let me end the run. I don't want to be 50 minutes playing simply because I chose to complete the goal. More so, I say it and it seems to make no sense. There is something wonderful that happens with some particular roguelikes that implement or that do not the whole kill yourself button. That is also because you didn't finish the run entirely yourself properly, now you don't get to actually gain the benefit of having properly played. And that is horrible. You're actually telling me that I need to go through the whole process of playing the way in which you want me to complete the mission that you designed, that you know to some degree is obnoxious. I like it again, but don't make it overstay its welcome. You know? I like let me enjoy what I like. Don't force me to also deal so much with all the other aspects that are not really that meaningful. Particularly, I guess, once again, this is a roguelike that we are talking about. There are some other games that can entirely do that. Like, I don't know, This War of Mine, for example, it is still to some degree a roguelike, but This War of Mine has the whole aspect of, you have also to some degree to look at what you are doing. You have the whole area of you need to be paying attention to what you are actually creating and what are the consequences of your actions. In that kind of game, it is absolutely understandable that you're going to force me to look at so many things that I don't want to. That is to some degree even appreciated, you know? But in cases like this one, I don't know, man. I don't really appreciate being forced to deal with and sit through so much stuff unnecessarily. Like, purposeful design is always appreciated, and the meaning behind the things that I see and such is, once again, yeah, something that I can very much say thanks for, but in cases like this one, or not exactly this one, in cases in which it doesn't exist as an option, it is very much a despise the absence of it, simply put. So what is? I have that. I like that it has so many stats. I have no clue what 60% of them do. Like, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 things over here, and I have here, yeah, here. No, I don't even. How do I see the upgrades that I have? Great question. I can't. So I have upgrades somewhere. We have all to imagine that I have them. Picturing yourself a chip. Don't think about an elephant. No, sorry. I just remember the whole. Oh no, yeah, you cannot not think about an elephant when prompted. I am losing it, man. I'm losing it. Having lost so many times has driven me crazy, I guess. But it's all for the sake of winning this run. This is it. This is the run that wins. Oh my god. I don't even remember where I lost last time, but for sure I will not die here this time. At least it looked well enough, yeah, so. Also, I have no clue why I am regaining this time around my ultimate power, so to speak. It's not my ulti, but I got it. Ultimate power. Yes. Simpler, cooler to say it like that, I guess. Oh Okay, there we go. It died entirely and without any single damage. Amazing HP up. Beautiful. What a beauty, what a beauty. So, fire rate and range. You really need that. Like, I have bullet explode. I still don't know what bullet explode does. But, wait, what? I can redeem it now? You're telling me that I can redeem it? Wow. Crazy. Who will have... What about that? Amazing. Also, bullet hell, it's such an amazing concept. It's... This game is so kino. I still have such an anger sitting soul about the whole abandonment of this game. It's so good. More people should play. More people should find out about it. And once again, my point is, it's cheap, man. People should get to know what's its existence. It's... What the fuck was that? Fucking got scared. Sorry. Why did it flash like that? Why did it have to flash like that? Like, nobody prompted you to do that, my man. But yeah, I was saying. It's... Why do we have multiple shots, yet none of them exist in reality? Like, am I being lied to? I have no clue. I think I have like... I have a certain degree of memory about Isaac items. Not that high of a memory because it's impossible to remember that well, but the item that lets you put all your tiers in one singular track line, I think that's what happened. Probably, I have to assume, because I have no clue why. Ah, yeah, you see, I had multiple bullets. I didn't have just one. With Isaac, it's similar. Yeah, it's a good analogy. You are going to make me look it up. Actually, there is a game that, particularly, this reminds me of. Let me look it up. Will I actually remember the name? I think I don't have it myself. Let me see. My stream library. Because it's also not a roguelike, so good. Roguelike. Yes, let me see. I don't have it, but it's over. I was going to rely on my possession of the game to be capable of mentioning it properly, but I don't. It's a... It's such a generic search. I was going to Google roguelike out a ship. Such a great spaceship. Such a great result. For sure I'm going to find what I'm looking for sure. Let me try actually. Let me try. Perhaps we're lucky enough, because it is like one of the first few roguelikes of that kind. Images. A second. I can find it. I will find it for you. It's a bullet hell, yeah. Bullet hell. Nova Drift? No, Nova Drift is also amazing, but no, it isn't a Nova Drift. Fuck, I'm not going to find it. I am actually not going to find it. Wait, this game looks so amazing. What? Holy Justice. Galaxy Outcast. What? Well, I never... The beauty of the oversaturated market, there are so many great titles that we will have never heard about. Can happen. Sadly, can happen so much. But no, I still haven't found the game that I was looking for. Into the void, no. Rocket exclamation mark knitter. This one it is Kotaku my beloved. What's the name of the game? Star of Providence, that game. It reminds me of that game, particularly because it even has the combo bar and whatnot. Star of Providence is such a great role, like, and that's what this ship reminds me of. It's, to some degree, it reminds me of, it's not exactly the same, not even remotely the same. That game is far more. I went ahead and kissed that enemy. I am so amazing. I was saying that the Star of Providence is much more complicated to some degree and entirely different, yeah. Also, do I really need more Farlight? Something tells me that I don't. And what do you do, my man? If I sacrifice, huh? If I sacrifice. What are you doing? I gave up all my life for you. And what did I get in return? Nothing. I love my roguelikes having no explanations. Nothing better than to have to guess what happened there. Go figure it out yourself. Thank you so much, game. I love when I am treated like a very clever adult. No, I am not. Indeed, I am not. I have no clue what happened, why I lost so much HP, for the sake of what particularly, but I did so. I guess thank you. What are you? Cure? Huh? What are you? Shut up, man. Here. But yeah, I was saying, instead of, it reminds me a lot of Star of Providence, basically. It's, in that sense, the same thing. Because, yeah, probably, I don't think it's going to be that hard. If you have played the other game, it's most certainly an obvious inspiration. I have to assume. You gave me nothing? I gained the disease and you gave me nothing? Wow. You're actually fucking with me right now. Have to be. No way. I gained absolutely nothing. Understandable. I feel so tempted to keep giving up my excruciatingly hardly earned life for the sake of seeing what happens in that getting altar and sacrifice thingy. Probably it's meaningless. Probably, most certainly it's meaningless. But I will convince myself that it is not and do it all again. Just to get irritated at the conclusion of my own decision, even if unavoidably it was my own. Okay. One more. What does it do? What does that thing do? Also, wait, what? I didn't finish you? I didn't do the mini-boss, sorry. Yeah, I didn't do the mini-boss, I am amazing. I literally went next to it, but I didn't do it. I am actually amazing. There we go. No, there it was. I could have opened the door. I came here also to check if I could open the door before I just realized I could have opened the door without having to do the whole boss. Yeah, can happen. You can miss what you desire the most, even if you are entirely willing to say that you love that thing because so much occupies your mind. Life is like that. Okay, there we go. Ah, no, you didn't die. Amazing. I forgot. Okay, now you didn't die. Yeah. I think it gave me bombs. I have to assume. Something tells me that's what happened. I just realized that's what that altar did. Probably. No, no! Don't kill me. Kill me. It was all for the sake of the gameplay. For the sake of the drama, sorry. No. It's so hard to navigate this game with this ship. Okay. We have 7 souls. We can open a little bit more of the map. It's so great. We have 6. We have 5. We have no more shovels. I sacrificed all of them. I threw them away because I decided to gamble all of it. Trying to see if anything. What the fuck, man? Multiple empty rooms. Amazing. Don't you love to see that? Don't you love to see all your efforts equal to nothing, amounts to nothing at all? See that what you want the most, what you work so hard for, leads to nothing in the end. We all love that. What is this? You have feelings? That's the shiny. Will you part with it? Indeed. Bring the shopkeeper shiny. Thank you. I see it as a meme. I end up doing it for real at this point. I have to see what happens. I have to get that thing. You get it. Whoa! For a second I actually forgot where I was placed and almost died. Not really, but it's really disaster. Also, I think I'm not going to get enough points from this room alone. Something tells me. Something whispers in my ear. Ah, no, I am going to get it from this one, actually. I didn't die. I am surprisingly right now sometimes. Okay. This. Very good, very good. More shots, very good. And you, where are you? Here? Yeah, you have another upgrade for me. No, you don't have an upgrade. You have shovels. Why do you tempt me like that? Oh Lord, you have to give me these battles. If you know that I am weak to temptation, if you know that I am prone to accept what you throw at me without any regard whatsoever for my own safety. Oh Lord, please don't do that. Okay, here, map. Map equals treasure. Treasure equals place to go. So we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 around here, I think. Yeah. It opened by itself. Amazing. How do I even get down there? Taking into consideration that the ship doesn't have the capacity to jump. Like, E to descend. What are you? Oh my god, you're a sacrifice room, but for the ship. I think I gained like double fire rate faster. No. Okay. I don't really complain. I actually got to heal myself twice, which is what I was looking for actually. This reduces the sprayer, increases the damage, and final bet is even more damage and an orbital. Amazing. You see, you always have to gamble. That's the lesson today. You have to gamble. When you see a casino next time, you also... What the fuck is this? You also join. What the fuck? And a boss. I have 1 HP. Do you understand what you are telling me to accomplish? It's almost there anyways. It's almost there. Probably didn't expect me to have this much damage. No. I spoke too soon. That's multiple faces. I'm screwed. Why? Why do my actions have to have consequences? Why can't I go my own way without ever receiving any penalization for what I do? Why do things have to happen to me? Why does the world keep turning? What the fuck is that? This part is having 1 HP, not at all intense. How many faces do you have? Die, brother. Do me a favor and die. There we go. There we go. Amazing, amazing. No hit. Unlocked. Shmup grade. Whatever you say. Factory Lobe 1. I always thought some names are identifiable. Factory Lobe is a bodily part? I have never heard out that before. Like, functional? No, what is it? Operant? No, what is it? Like, it has a name. The lobe that is in charge of mathematical equations and whatnot. I think that's the only part that you can equal with. I didn't even read what that was. I'm amazing. No, I took a hit. So sorry. But yeah, I was saying, I don't know. I feel like some of this stuff is I don't understand sometimes. Eat to cure? Nothing. You have nothing to cure. Thank you so much. I already knew that. Also, no, wait a second. Wait a second. I have to take a break. I didn't mean to stay here for so long. So yeah, I will need to go for a second. So yeah. Give me a minute for my scheduled break. Thank you very much. See you in 10 days. What's up? I'm back. We are here to finish this run. It's going to take so long. It's going to take so absolutely long to finish. But that's the price that you pay for saying that you're going to do something. Sometimes you have to commit to your own decisions, even if, in hindsight, you might regret them. Not exactly, not. Sometimes you feel like regret is the only choice, when in reality it's not that bad. It's not that horrible, it's not that negative. Just easier to make it look like it is. Because the guilt of accepting that what you chose wasn't exactly what you wanted the most. It's you from the inside. even if sometimes that is also like you want that so much to such a high degree, but how can I want something that badly? How can I want to play another round more? No, me, no way, no, mid, no, not me. Everyone else but me. I don't do that. I am a absolutely, what is it? Disciplined person with all his desires under control. I never wanted to go for another round, even if I know that I shouldn't. So the problem is not me, you know? Anyways. Damage, even higher damage, amazing. I don't understand what am I looking at. Are these multipliers? It looks like a multiplier, this thing. Or a percentage? Is that a percentage? Like, only God knows, I guess. Also, I have two of them. I can grab both of them. Amazing. So amazing. Wow. Life is so great. So I did get that damage increase then. Good. I gained 0.1 damage. Wow. But yeah, I was saying, I googled factory low. Indeed, that place does not exist. Actually, something surprising was to see that when you Google factory low, it appears in the results. Factory low cavity busters. So I guess enough people have also had the same question when playing this game. About why did he decide, oh my god, to use that word particularly? I chose an absolutely bad upgrade. Can happen. Range, damage. Yeah, this is right. On you, what do you have? Yeah, this is right. Take one ground stud. There we go. You don't give me anything. You don't give me anything. Can happen. Can entirely happen. Deserved. Absolutely deserved. How can you not give me anything? Can happen. Part of the fun of playing one more round of things go wrong, and you're already susceptible to being irritated. You're already so everything upsets you now. Everything always did, but now you finally realize how sensual you are. Now you find yourself more affected by what could have been before. Nothing. Give me nothing, you don't get it, man. Give me nothing. Why did it give me nothing? Why did it have to Why did it have to take account? What was the meaning of the game? Also, I love how this character has, if you ever decide to utilize the menu to check the minimap like I do, let me see. What the, I didn't see those tiny things. This, if you ever decide to use this thing, you have to thumb. There is no other choice. Because it isn't a normal character who has thumb integrated into its normal skills. You cannot decide to not thumb or aka remain in the room in which you are right now. How many layers did that thing open? Amazing. I have freeway towards here then. Yeah, no I don't. Well, one room I can pick myself. In the grand scheme of things, one room is not that costly. Now, I used a bomb. I am amazing. running out of shovels. And you might be wondering why. The simple answer is because I'm using all of them. What is this? Oh no, literally nothing for this particular character. So, quite meaningless to do, I guess. But, aka, now you know. Oh. Oh my god. Also, no, I shouldn't take that up, right? Forgetting about the rain description is the best. Rains, negative rains. Bullet explode. What is bullet explode, my brother? Why should I care about bullet explode? What does that do, like? Ah yeah, bullets explode. So true. So correct in that sentence there. Thank you so much. Should have said nothing. Sorry. Ah, yeah. Losing it, I'm losing it. This character is making me lose it. Oh my god. Something that doesn't give me anything. Great. Here. Come on, boss. Wait, I can escape? Ah, amazing. I have enough time to actually get out of that room, explore 2 more rooms before doing it. But this time for real. Ah, amazing. Okay, there we go. And we get feelings. Great. Feelings? I still don't know how to say it. We get emotions. Here, take me to here. And take me to here. And because I cannot jump, I cannot, like other characters, go around and understand our limitation. The weight of being such a great character, I guess. Anyway, let me actually finish this level, implying that I have enough damage. It seems to be the case. No clue how overwhelmed I am right now. I cannot begin to imagine. Oh my god, don't kill me. Second face and kill me. Okay, there we go. No more. And yet another shoot 'em up face. Great. Exactly what I was needing. At the very least, this and the other state seem to share the damage, so I absolutely blast through the enemies for some reason. Which is great. Oh yeah. Took damage, I'm going to die. Probably. Can you die, or are you going to do this again? How much I hit that power up? Why do you have to give me an increased angle of attack? Like, what's the point? It was great before. Don't change it, man. What the? Amazing. I gain shots. I lose damage. I gain more shots. I guess so. Factory log number 2. Probably I should. I just realized this guy cannot see the minimap. Why? Ay. I don't understand that choice actually. I would have loved to be capable of seeing it and knowing where to go exactly, because at this point, taking into consideration that everything is so strong, I am also strong, but everything else is strong too. I shouldn't be playing around so much, I should just be rushing towards the boss. But that's how they keep you trapped in the cycle. Now you kill a boss, tomorrow you kill a mini boss, and you never get to live because there is always something else to do. And you never know what's that next thing to do. This is amazing. Wow. Okay, at the very least, this character feels like it's the easiest one to end up with an entirely broken build, basically. Thanks to how it functions. Oh my god. Also, it moves way too fast for my taste. You. I guess bullet crit? Okay. You have the shiny? Yes, I have the shiny. Thank you. Accept my shiny. No! I missed my room. There we go. What is that enemy? Oh my god! Thank god I didn't die. Okay, I think this is the second to last boss. Oh my! And I certainly didn't know its attack pattern so. It's impossible. You get it. Yeah. Okay. It's over. It's over. No. 1 HP. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Okay. You die. No, you had a second phase. I am rage quitting. If you kill me, I am rage quitting. I am not going to go through the whole effort of killing you yet again. You can go have a field day on your own, by yourself, wherever you feel like. But I'm not going to start yet another run with this character. Not today, at least. For today, my satisfaction levels are achieved, I guess. Also, whatever the power-up does, like... I like the lack of explanation, which... Eat dog. Little gummy, soft one, I have here an aid. Take it. Let me be. Let me accept my punishment for trying to get some parries. Sorry. Okay, that's the character. Understandable. So over, my man. It was great at least. But well, that's the game. Now for real, I got to win like one run. And the problem also is, it takes so long to actually win. You also got to see that, I guess. But yeah, that was an experience. But yeah, I guess as always, thanks for everything, and I don't know, have a good one, have a good rest of your day, night, evening, whatever. For today, we're done. And yeah, as always, thanks for the time, the attention, the interest, the patience, the everything. Remember to take care, to hydrate, to rest, to add of that other stuff, and yeah, I don't know. See you next time, probably tomorrow, probably. And if not, be it for whichever reason, still thank you for everything. It was a magnificent day. So yeah, take care. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Goodbye.